Welcome. I'm Tim Fortescue, an IFS specializing in spiritual growth and healing. Whether you're healing from religious trauma or just seeking guidance on your journey, I'm here to support you. Feel free to ask questions in the chat and I'll address them at the end of the time. And if you find this content helpful, please hit the like button and share it with others who you think might benefit. If you're new to IFS, visit faithfullygrowing.com to learn more. And you can always send me an email if it's easier to Tim at faithfullygrowing.com. But as you have questions, if you're watching live, put them in the chat. And if you're watching a recording, go ahead and put them in too, and I'll either engage with your questions there or I will address them at the next live. Next week, I am in a training, and so I'll be off from the live next Tuesday, but plan to be here consistently with having things come up intermittently after that. But I'll be back in 2 weeks. While you're at the website, if you haven't already, I encourage you to sign up for my free IFS guided meditations and get added to my weekly list for emails for support on your parts work journey. Okay, let's see. If you want to dive deeper, one more plug, you can also check out the Faithfully Growing community by clicking the top banner at faithfullygrowing.com. And that just provides ongoing support, a weekly drop-in, and meditations to enhance your IFS practice and growth. So today, let me get into our content for a bit. I'm going to talk about uncovering hidden or unknown parts of ourselves. And sometimes these can be exiles, those inner child parts, but sometimes they can just be parts that may be trying to protect, but they haven't had a voice. They're scared of the more dominant protectors. And so we want to provide some space for those parts that may be hidden or may not have as much of a voice today. And I know in my own life, I've got those hidden parts, particularly in relationships. I do well with surface relationships, but when and this happens with my partner and in my marriage, and we talk about it. But sometimes there are parts of me that, to be vulnerable, to share. I mean, that's where my numbing comes up, and it's hard for me to trust, to be vulnerable. With people who love me deeply now, but there are parts of me that can be hidden, or if I seek to understand, they can shut down. And I don't want to push them, but I want them to know that things are different now. And those behaviors that they're doing, they may not need to do them now. And they're even maybe self-sabotaging a little bit. And don't mean that in a shameful way to them, but just want to be aware of that. So be aware of those parts in you as we explore this idea of hidden parts today. And again, these hidden parts are aspects of ourselves that we suppress, ignore, or are unaware of. They could be emotions, maybe even talents that you have, fears, desires. And it may be good to ask, why do we hide these parts of ourselves? Or why don't these parts feel like they can come forward? And why don't they trust you more at your core, or me more? And maybe it's a fear of judgment or rejection, past experiences or societal conditioning, self-protection, coping mechanisms. So here's some ways that may be helpful to gently explore this, and then we'll put it into practice a bit with a meditation. But self-reflection, maybe it's journaling or doing meditations on your own, and asking some deep, open-ended questions without pressure. Be aware of those parts that really want to draw these parts out. Thanks so much for your feedback there, Latai. I had the wrong mic checked, was having some audio issues. I've got a lot going on here. I'll have to show you the other side sometime. But asking some deep, open-ended questions. What parts of me want to be seen right now? And then be aware, but they may be hesitant. And again, we don't want to push them, but we want them to know that they're welcome. And we don't want to judge them. Another question may be helpful. What am I afraid to express? Seeking feedback from trusted friends or mentors. And it may even be dealing with those parts or being aware of those parts that may be like, no, don't go to that trusted friend or mentor. Don't trust them, because back to my hidden parts, I notice that sometimes. But embracing hidden parts can lead to greater self-awareness, authenticity, seeing that when we're vulnerable, the worst case doesn't happen generally. And so recognize these hidden strengths and these hidden parts that do bring us gifts and can empower us. And maybe it's healing from suppressed emotions by facing them with compassion and just a little at a time. Let me close with this before I lead us in our check-in and meditation. I encourage you and me to take some time for self-exploration this week. I've had to do that already because there have been some triggers this week for me already, even though it's Tuesday, and it's normal. And just take that time. And some of the most beautiful parts of you may be waiting to be acknowledged, and that makes my system soften to hear that too. Because I want to find those parts, and not in an agenda, let's seek them out phase, but just a genuine curiosity of what they can bring. And I want them to know they're part of the team. So let's begin our meditation and check in, and particularly be aware of these hidden parts that may be more comfortable even with just being acknowledged today. And we're just going to seek to gently connect with and understand these aspects of ourselves that have remained unseen or unexplored. So find a comfortable position to sit or lie down. Close your eyes if you'd like and take a deep breath in. And exhale slowly. With each inhale, invite a sense of calm and curiosity. And with each exhale, release any tension. Take another breath or two at your own pace, and inhaling deeply and exhaling. Then let your breath flow naturally as you settle into stillness. Imagine yourself in a safe and peaceful space. And ask, is there a part of me that wishes to be seen today? Notice any feelings, images, or sensations that arise. Allow them to come forward without judgment. Be aware of those parts that are quick to chime in first and have had many chances for a voice, and see if they'd be willing to give a little space today so we can see who else is here. And they may get a little ticked off at that, and just meet them with compassion and let them know that their voice matters and you want to hear them. But for today, could we allow some space for some others that may have not shared much, and they may be surprised with what they hear. And if they can't soften back, they need your attention today, and just give those voices your attention. But if they can soften back, thank them. Just hold a little space for a bit and continue to notice and see who's there. And gently greet this part of you that is front and center today. You might say, I see you. I'm here with you. Ask this part. What do you want me to know? Listen with patience and openness. No need to force anything. Simply observe. And as you notice this part, just do a check to see how you're feeling toward it. If it's a constrictedness instead of an openness, likely another part jumping in. Maybe if that part that has had a voice soften back, it may be trying to come back in. And just see if that part or any parts that are coming in could keep giving some space, knowing they can have some attention at another time. Then turn back to the part that you're giving attention today. See if you can extend some kindness and gratitude to this part, maybe a part that's been hidden. It takes a lot of courage to come forward. But let it know that it has a role in your life on this journey. And offer this part a sense of understanding, comfort. Let it know who you are. It may be confused. Let it know this may be just the first step in a process of getting to know it better. And just let it know that it's safe here. This is a judgment-free zone. See if it could give you a chance to earn its trust a little more. Just see if there's anything else. We're just going to hold space for another minute or so with you in this part. Let it know that you can connect again. Maybe let it know when, particularly these parts that have been hidden, hesitant to come forward. Let them know we're not going to forget about them. We want to keep growing this relationship. Then thank this part for revealing itself to you today. And expand out to those parts that may have softened back and are witnessing. Thank them for their courage to do that. Let them know that they're a part of this inner team too. And you want to hear them. We get to know our parts better, spending that quality one-on-one time often, and holding those team meetings when it's appropriate so everyone can have a voice. Then when it feels right, take a few more deep breaths, grounding yourself in the present moment. When you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes or just bring your gaze up, bringing this newfound awareness with you into your life. Because every part of you and me holds wisdom and value. By gently uncovering and embracing these hidden aspects, we invite greater self-awareness, healing, and wholeness. So carry this compassion with you as you move forward. And this affirmation is something I'm going to take with me today. I welcome all parts of myself with love, curiosity, and understanding. Thanks so much for your courage and joining me today. I'll hang around for just a minute or so to see if there are any questions or comments. Thank you so much. Lynn, right? Am I getting that right, Lynn? Let me know. Yes, so grateful that you're here. Thanks for that heart. I think that's an affirmation for that. I really want to get names pronounced right and said right for sure. So thank you. Okay, I'll hang tight for just another few seconds. You can always send me an email, tim@faithfullygrowing.com. Thank you, Lynn. But yeah, just so grateful to journey and grow and heal together with all of you. And yeah, really appreciate this community that we're gathering here. Remember, I'll be off next week. I'm in a week-long training where I'm assisting in an IFS, finishing up one and assisting in another, Monday through Sunday. I'll be assisting in trainings. And so I'll be back fresh in 2 weeks. You may not even be able to hold me back. And so I'll see if I can come in self-energy. Often after those trainings, I'm just ready to go, and those positive emotions can get extreme too. So be aware, we usually think of our not negative, you get what I'm saying, but more challenging emotions instead of those excited ones. But sometimes after those trainings, my parts are extreme in the other direction. So be ready. All right. Thanks so much. Reach out if you need to, and have a great week. And let's try to be kind to ourselves and be kind to our parts on this journey. All right. We're in this together. Take care.